Let's get to a question from a viewer. Patty emailed us saying, my father is dying. Would I be covered under the Families First Coronavirus Response Act if I were to leave the job to say goodbye in person? He's in a nursing home with coronavirus. First of all, Patty, thanks for watching and writing in. We're very sorry to hear about your family. Let's hope this works out for you. The U.S. Department of Labor says the Families First Coronavirus Response Act is in effect through the end of the year. There are many regulations, though, that determine if you're eligible, like the size of your company. Now, according to the Labor Department, some employees, like many in the federal government, they are covered under the Family and Medical Leave Act, or FMLA instead. And keep in mind, your best resource for all of this is the Human Resource Department. They can help you determine which type of leave works best for you in your situation.